Alright, so welcome back to Driveway. We are once again in the shop and we are going to tackle some wiring, and that's going to be kind of a fun one. So let's get cracking on this thing and see where we go today. Yay. Alright, so anyways, as you can see, we got ourselves a fuel tank. I bought this a while ago and figured, hey, perfect time to start playing around with it. This is an FT450. It's a lower end one. It's only got the single connector. The other one has a bunch of inputs, so on and so forth. So we got that, and we got the little O2 sensor brain piece. So that's that. So let's go take a look at our dash and see where we're gonna put this. So I got a rough piece of diamond plate zapped out, kind of to run as our dashboard piece. We've got these clamps for the tubes that we're just going to bolt right in there. We can line it up and move around, and that'll be great. We'll have to chop off some corners here once we figure out exactly where we want everything. So anyways, I kind of got a rough layout of where I want stuff. We're gonna have our start button and accessory panel here. We'll have the FT450 right here in the middle. And then on the side, we'll have that little nano readout. So we're gonna cut out these holes in the nicest and easiest way that we possibly can. And that's with a bunch of laziness. Let's head to the CNC. All right, so over here, we've got kind of a section that we're gonna use essentially as a spoil board of sorts. I've been lazy and neglecting my duties here of finishing setting this thing up. So let's see, there's the machine edge. So we'll just make do with what we got. So we got that guy. Then we need to slide in our mount board here. Line it up as best we can. And bogger down. Now we just need to fire up our program, and lucky enough for us, they came with a nice instruction set that gives us our exact dimensions. That makes things super easy. So all we gotta do now is we just gotta line up where we're going. Somewhere in there. I kind of pre-hit where our drill point's supposed to be, so I'm trying to make sure we get our spot right on, because once we hit the button, she's going. So Cross your fingers and away we go. Alright, so as a whole, that shouldn't be that terrible. Let's go take a look-see and see if we're in the ballpark of where we want them to be. Decently clean cut. Right into our backing board. But hey, that's not too shabby. Alright, we'll just have to lightly clean up the edges, but let's see if this goes in. Well, ain't that fancy? All the lines line up. Now, I think it's time to hit the next stage here. roughly speaking, that's what we're looking at. Well, that looks pretty clean. Looks like our hole's lining up pretty nice. Now we need to hog this guy out, and then we'll be set. All right, so our next piece is this guy. And just kind of showing you relatively how easy it is. We just grab our drill point. We just grab our drill point here. Start off with it right at the origin. So that's where you have a common starting part. So that way if you flub up something, you can, and you only got like the first couple things done and it's screwed up, you got a place that you can line up your origin again. So we'll put that guy in there. We'll drop another point, and yep, we got a slow computer. And then let's drop another point. There we go. Got all our 4 points. This guy switched to millimeters. All right, we'll switch to millimeters. Let's go. Oh, those all are the same. So let's do that guy there at 54. That puts him there. This guy needs to be 0 on the X and 138. And this guy is 54. Nope, 54 on this one. 54 on that one. And 138 on that one. And that should be the holes for that. So that's pretty much that. Now we just need to get our gap. So we'll just go in 10 millimeters. Let's go grab a square. How wide of a block do we want? This guy needs to be 40 by 125. Okay, that's the blob we want to cut. That's gonna be down here. We're gonna go up 10 millimeters, was it? Oh, no, that was from the outer edge. Subtract about 6 maybe, so that's 4. Alright, up from the bottom we're at 4. Over from the side, what are we talking here? Which way is up? Down has a shorter side on the back. So down is going to be the right hand side. We should go over 6. Yeah, 6 looks good. We should have something like that. And then for our cut, we don't want it to clear out a pocket. We want cut a path inside of the shape. And depth, we want that to be, I don't know, inch. That needs to be, let's try 0.09. This guy needs to be 0.09. Yep. And we need aluminum. Okay. So it should take about 22 minutes. And from this point, all we gotta do is download our G code. We got that downloaded. We got candle open. And we just drag that boy on there. And there's what we're looking at. Oh, looks like we got tabs. We want no tabs on there. There we go. There we go. That looks much simpler. So now a good spot is to test it out on a board, unless you really trust yourself. So let's get to cutting. All right, so computers are definitely a wonderful thing, mainly because we get to have this. Because like if you've ever tried to drill a hole manually, you get your center punch, you punch your holes, everything looks great, you run your drill through, and then something usually just doesn't quite line up. This is a much nicer way to take all that error out of there, make good measurements, measure it once, so this thing can cut it once. Anyways, we got everything kind of riveted in there. That guy screwed in because, well, we had screws to screw it in with. Now this plastic mounting piece is for that gauge panel to click in, and I just wanted to show off on the back side kind of why I cut things the way I did. You can see this spot there as you're trying to like remove it. This is fully detached, so I wanted it so I could leave wires unattached and be able to click it in. So we need to make sure that when it clicks into its final position, we had enough room for the USB. So we're good there. So essentially, we're good on that part. Now our next operation for the dash, we're gonna have to lob off these corners somewhere where it makes sense in the car. And to do that, we probably should mount this thing up. All right, so that's kind of a glance at it. I think we need to chop a little off the top, kind of see where that leaves us. All right, so dash coming back in. We're pretty much at a decent spot. Okay, that looks like a thing. How is the wiggle? I mean, it's a little wiggly, but I mean, if it gets too bad, I can always run a runner or something to help support it. Yes, let's crawl in and give this thing a test. In we go. We're gonna knock over the tripod in the process. All right, we gotta shimmy it over a little. That looks approximately there. And our gaugey guy comes up into here and into there and there, and we snap it in. So there we go. Our gauge is in. It's actually doable. Let's see here. Let's see if we can give her the view from my seat. I'm kind of more back here, but anyways, I can see from my spot the engine start and a switcheroo over here. So we can have that engine start. That'll be good over there. This guy fits right in there, and off to the edge I can see that guy relatively well as well. So as a whole, I think we're pretty good here. Some of these accessory switches I can't really see very well, but most likely I'm only going to have those hooked up to probably what, maybe fans and 2 pumps. I'll have the intercooler pump, and then one will probably eventually be a pump for the rear differential. So fan will pretty much stay on all the time. I only want like a kill switch for if I need to work on it while it's trying to run. That's always a bad thing. So we'll get that figured out, but that's looking pretty decent. Now we can also put the gauge sock over it. Then that keeps it all nice and dust free. All right, so that should be enough for this episode. We got pretty decent stuff accomplished. We got the dash all set up, and we got to play with our CNC router some more. Now next time we're gonna have to start getting into this wiring harness. Ain't that something? So we're gonna have a lot of wires running, and we'll have to start throwing them down and see where we line up with everything. So we got that guy, then we got, this should be our O2 setup. So yeah. Ain't that something? Gonna be a lot of reading instructions in the future for me. Anyways, thanks for stopping by and watching. Hopefully you might have learned something. If not, whatever. Anyways, hopefully we'll get to see you again later.